We are now joined by Mr. M. Manickam, Executive Chairman at Sakthi Sugars. Thank you very much, Mr. Manickam, for being with us here on NDTV Profit. Good to have you on the show today. Can you tell us what's really making the street happy? Is there anything, has there anything that's changed on the ground for the sugar sector?
The world market prices have really moved up by about 2 cents. They went down to about 13.5 and now they're up to about 15.5 cents. So there is a general feeling of a shortage coming in the world market.
Okay. So has there been any sort of a movement of as in the prices, have the prices moved higher in India as well, the domestic market, any change?
The domestic market is getting stronger because I think Maharashtra is now incentivized to export. The government of India and the government of Maharashtra have been putting pressure on the Maharashtra millers to export sugar. And with the current move in the raw sugar and white sugar prices, the viability of exporting sugar out of Maharashtra is becoming more realistic. So, in fact, we are expecting that Maharashtra sugar would be flowing out into the international market. Consequently, the supply in the Indian market will be tightened. So that's why I think the prices are moving up domestically as well.
Okay. What is the current realization and how much further is it expected to be? How much of a more hike are we likely to see in the near term?
See, we are now at about 31 rupees. And we've been maintaining our break-even is about 35, 36 rupees. So we are still about 4 rupees away from a point where we are comfortable, where the industry will get back on its feet. So we are hoping that we will come to that level maybe by, next couple of months.
Okay. And in terms of the outlook then for the current quarter, are you expecting it to look much better? Are we likely to see a huge turnaround for the sector, considering there has already been a significant up move as far as the prices are concerned, and situation outside has started looking better now?
Yeah, definitely. This quarter will be good for almost all the sugar factories. I mean, most of us will be doing good for this quarter, but I mean, may not for the whole year, but the current quarter-on-quarter is much better than the previous quarters. And going forward, I think next year also, due to the drought in Maharashtra and Karnataka, we are expecting a lower crop. So we think that these prices will be sustainable at least for next 1 year. So the outlook looks fairly positive for the industry for the next 1 or 2 years.
And what about for Sakthi Sugar? Are we likely to see some significant, improvement in the bottom line in this particular quarter? And what's the outlook for FY17?
This quarter should be good. FY17 will certainly be, I think we should be returning to profits for March 17. March, that's going to be a good year for the company.
Are we likely to see profitability in this quarter itself, or that you are indicating that would be coming into the next financial year only?
It will probably coming into the next quarter, the next financial year. This quarter we should be okay, but I mean you will see the improvements coming in the next financial year really.
All right. And also, can you give us a sense of the kind of, production outlook? I mean, what's the kind of inventory that's there right now in terms of business, and any update on the ethanol program that was given a go-ahead from the government side? Has that picked up pace?
Right now, see, the opening stock the current year was about 10 million, and we are looking at a production of between 25-26 million. And we probably will export about 2 million. Consumption is 26. So we might actually land up with a closing stock of 6.5 to 7 million. And then next year, the production is likely to be not more than 24 million. So the availability will be something like 30 million for the whole year next year. And the consumption is likely to be 26. So we will close with, let's say, 4 million tons in 17 September. So that's going to be very tight. So I think going between 16 to 18, 16 to 19, the industry should be in a good shape for the next 2 to 3 years.
All right, but the kind of outlook that you've given us for FY17, where you're saying that the production, if I've heard it correctly, the stock is going to be about 24 million, the expectation is going to be much higher. So this demand-supply mismatch, are we likely to see a significant hike in prices in FY17?
It depends upon the world market prices. If India has to import sugar in 18-19 and the world markets are spiked up, I mean, a lot more remains to be seen because of the Brazilian production, European production, everything. The current year, we've had a shortfall in Europe, which was not expected. We've had a shortfall in China. We had a shortfall in Thailand. In fact, the El Nino effect has really given a major impact. And currently, the El Nino effect is still there. We don't know whether it's going to extend into the summer. If it does, then you will see a correction in production for the current year as well. So we need to really watch out for the El Nino effect.
All right. And also a last question on exports. While we understand Maharashtra is likely to give some incentives, but overall, Mr. Manickam, if you could give us a sense, there is a cap from the government side. So are you going to be, is the industry really going to be reaching out to the government to do something about that cap on exports?
They wanted about 3.2 million tons exporting. I don't think we're going to touch the 3.2. We'll be well under that. So I don't think we're going to ask the government to increase it beyond the 3.2 right now. Because if India does export 3.2, we will probably have a very tight situation.